All right, we're up and going now. A lot better weather than we've been having, that's for dang sure. How's everybody doing tonight? It's been a long day. It was a good day though. My boy passed driver's ed today, so that's pretty cool. And he shot his first bow or carp with a bow. So pretty good day in the Deaver household. Trey, how we doing? What's up, everybody? Oh, Kansas Trapper, what's up? I wonder where's everybody from on here? Kansas Trapper, obviously, I'm assuming is from Kansas. Uh, oh, hey, Justin, you finally made it. I messaged you like, yeah, it's coming up. Well, if you're subscribed, maybe you'd get the notification on your phone. Just throwing that out there, Justin. Dredger9 took the family on a river hike. Nice, nice. People do that around here. They end up finding a lot of arrowheads and stuff. It's pretty cool. Mike Sorensen, how we doing? Thanks for subscribing, bud. Dre's from Kansas. Paul, Washington State, Wisconsin, Indiana, Nebraska, Texas. Wow, all I need is a Florida and a Maine, and we've got all four corners covered. Central Missouri. Oh, man, up 25 people right off the bat. Kentucky. Yeah, I'll give you guys props down south. I don't know how you guys do it down there. I mean, that's a whole different ball game. Especially at the convention, I got to talk to some people that trap a lot of Texas, and they say the coyote numbers are just phenomenal. But it's a whole new concept than what I'd be used to up here. Larry from Ohio, Illinois. Dan, what's my favorite beaver foothold? Uh, so I don't have a whole lot of experience with beaver trapping, but I went out road lining the last 2 years, and really I'm diving into that really hard next year. But I started with the Bridger number fives, and I liked them, and they worked pretty well. But someone turned me on to the TS 85s, and I kind of jumped on that boat, and I have not looked back. I love those TS 85s. That was awesome. No, Mike, not a Busch Light. This is a rum and Pepsi. So a pretty stout one. I'll be feeling pretty good by the end of this, I'm sure. Hey, Chad, how we doing? Northern New York. Okay, Michael. So there's my northeastern guy, Blake. You stopped talking to me at the NTA. Good, good. Yeah, that was fun. I'll tell you what. We just got, not just got back. The NTA was, oh shoot, I don't even know, 3 weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. That I was busy, man. I was busy, but it was a good time for sure. From Minnesota, living in Australia, Nate. Wow, that's that's probably a little different climate change. WT Trap or PA. Yeah, Mike Sorensen. Yeah, I know you like the 85s. Justin Steins. Yeah, I know you're from Iowa, obviously. Although if you subscribe, you'd get the freaking notifications. Oh well, I'll let that one slide. You're just gonna owe me a free skinning machine next time. For the free public speaking of mentioning that you make a really amazing skinning machine. How about that? Chad, the 85s. Isn't that if it's made in your neck of the woods? I thought that was is it Cat Brothers that make those? I'm not real familiar with where they're from, but I thought that's what it was. Dan, am I going to the Wisconsin convention September? No, I'm not. I this year I'm pretty much done with them. We had the NTA right here in Iowa that kind of took up a lot of time, a lot of my free time. But next year I've already committed to going to Lima, Ohio again. For those of you who don't know, I was part of the Kids Cave up at the NTA. I teamed up with Alan Sayre, owns Funky Trap Tags here in Central Iowa. We teamed up together, and I did a demo, and every kid that showed up to that demo got 4 free Duke dog proofs, a can of bait, and a setting tool. So that was that 216 traps that he just gave away. So pretty cool. The NTA's asked if we'd be willing to team up again in Lima, Ohio next year. That's the plan right now. All depends, a lot of time between now and then. I got to find out the exact dates on it too, but it's kind of the plan. Cody, how we doing? Ryan, how lit up are you right now? I got your snap earlier when you were already feeling pretty good, so I can imagine. Chad Muller, you're from Iowa? Really? Yeah. I can't imagine that. Yeah, Dredger 9. It wasn't much of a video, but I just want to show people, it's where that started today. I got to the end of my line, and I always turned right, like I said in one of my earlier videos. I'd never gone up over the hill before and seen what was there. I did that today, and honestly, it looks pretty good. Just that little, I think I went 2 sections down, a section back, and then took it right back to my normal route, and that added, I'm going to say, probably 25 good locations, probably 5 miles, maybe 6, something like that. But it looked really good, and I hit a dead spot where I tried going farther down the line, and it was just beans and just dead stuff. So I turned around and found a little piece that's going to map out pretty good, and I'm going to hopefully find about 10 to 15 more little spots, because that's what I do every year. I do this, then the next year I'm kind of going up and just expanding in any direction that I can. Justin, that's fair. Yeah, no, I'm pretty good for them right now, man. They last forever. Those skinning machines are great. Chad Tim Swarty took over the contract from Bridger. I did not know that. Flintlock 25, you're in Illinois. Yeah, Justin, I need to figure out when that convention is next year at the NTA. Everyone keeps telling me it's late July, early August, and that'll be a huge factor whether I'm able to come or not. Nebraska Fur Harvester Convention, end of September. I think I got some buddies going to that one too. I want to say Backwater Baits. Jeff and Bruce are going to be up there for that one. I could be wrong though. Tri-County Trapper, how we doing, buddy? North Central Kansas. Love the videos. Yeah, no, absolutely, Cody. Good. I'm glad that helped you. I honestly, my scouting videos aren't real popular. It seems like a lot of people want to see fur caught, which I get. It's just like a hunting show. You really don't want to see the work that goes into it. But I really think if someone wants to put up numbers, you've got to learn to do that homework. Your preseason homework makes or breaks your season 100%. Like today, I went out, I didn't write anything down yet, but we're already looking. I'm figuring out, I got a map in the garage, figuring out what's going to be corn, what's beans this year. It's always thinking up here. I haven't started applying it to stuff yet per se, but we're getting there. Ryan, you're a little tipsy. Well, just don't get upside down, buddy. Nothing I can do from down here to help you. Edward, how we doing, bud? Cole, right. I want to get into trapping. What license or permits do I need? Uh, all depends what states you're in, bud. Here in Iowa, all I need is a trapping license. You have to have, I mean, I don't even know if any states have this, but you have to have a hunter ed certificate here. But every state's different. When you go to like your local DNR webpage, that's probably the first place I would look. They'll have some kind of a hunting trapping regulation booklet you can either download, most Walmarts and stuff, at least here in Iowa, carry a paper copy that you can bring home with you. Uh, but that's where I'd get started first to figuring out what you're allowed to do. I'm not sure what state you're in, but if you get a chance, um, get on YouTube. There's a lot of, or YouTube's great too, but there's a lot of Facebook groups. I actually started a Facebook group here a little bit ago called "So You Want to Be a Trapper," specifically aimed at people like you that have never trapped before, that going into this completely new, have no idea what a trap is, how to use it. I kind of really backed up to beginner basics, and I just started that series, and that'd be something that might be able to help you down the road, as well as there's all kinds of other stuff on YouTube as well to help you out as well. So, Mike, okay, yeah, backwater is going up there. Yeah, Justin, are you going out to Nebraska? Oh, you did a video. You're not going to Nebraska, but you're sending some machines out there, aren't you? I remember that now. Hey, Chad, glad you like the scouting videos. I really think they're one of my better ones. That's I think if you really want to learn how to trap, I would look at them before you see me catch a bunch of coon over and over and over. That gets pretty monotonous, and I'm the one doing it. I can't imagine when you're not here for the excitement. How not necessarily boring, but how endless that could get. Mauler, any new plans for the coming season? Hey, coon as hard as I can. Hopefully twice as hard as last year. Hope my wife didn't hear that, but she's like, "So you're about done going bigger, aren't you?" Yeah, honey, that's it. I've hit my limit. Oh no, no. There's always room to expand, and not necessarily even to expand, but to get more efficient. Uh, Cutting out certain things to make yourself more efficient, more time management, especially when you're running a fairly long line like I am. Oh, Tri County Trapper. Any goals? Yeah, I fell short of that 1,000 last year, and that was very, very disappointing. Really disappointing. But I've told several people this, and it's not an excuse either. But I slacked off, I guess you could say. But this year, I'll have 60% of my crop rotation will be corn, versus last year was 40% corn and 60% soybeans. So this year, 60% of my crops are going to be corn, 40 soybeans, and the corn is what coon prefer. So when I got that timber on one side of the road and a field on the other side, if that's beans, my 5 or 6 stops with that along that road, I might catch 4 or 5 coon total, maybe one at each trail. But when that's corn, I'm getting 2 or 3 up to 5 or 6 on those trails. And that is a huge difference. So when you have 60% of them versus the beans, it's a game changer. Matter of fact, just this year, considering it's going to be corn, opens up. There's like 22 miles, I figured the other day, of road that I didn't touch last year because the whole area was beans. I mean, everything around was beans. And now that the whole area this year is going to be corn again, that's 22 miles of, I don't know what it was, 60 locations or something like that. That right there, say 3 coon a location, that's 180 coon. That right there would have got me well past my number. So that's the plan anyway. Plus between expanding and hopefully get more efficient. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Oh, okay. Where are we at here? Hey, thanks, Al's Outdoor. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. I appreciate it. Kansas has to have trapper education class along with fur harvesting license. Yeah, Trey. Yeah, there's all kind. Everyone's different, so figure out uh what kind of education you have to have. Yeah, some we don't have to have that here, but certain states you're required to take an actual trapping course. Uh, which honestly I don't really think is a bad idea personally, but that's me. Everyone's got their own opinion on that, I'm sure. Justin Steins, if there's short lessons in February on finishing fur, does my shed need to stay above freezing all the time? Good question. You don't have to necessarily. I would keep your shed above freezing, but everyone says you have to keep fur at 60 degrees to finish or something like that. Yeah, for the maximum efficiency, probably. My garage is very well insulated, as you probably remember. So even when it was getting down to like -20, it still 30, 35 degrees in there. I don't think we ever got below freezing once. And if we did, it was for a short time. But I don't run any heat in my garage all winter, and I'm finishing fur in it. I do have that walk-in freezer, which the exhaust from it creates heat, and I think that's one of the reasons what helps keep it a little warmer. But yeah, very rarely would I get close to seeing my breath in there, but I have no problem finishing fur at 45, 50 degrees. Personally, I prefer that temperature because, fat guys make a lot of heat when they're fleshing, and I would not like fleshing in 80-degree weather. I didn't get all my fur finished this winter, so I was doing it well into the summer. And I'll tell you what, it's 80 degrees outside. That garage was 95 degrees, and it was hot. It was miserable. But lesson learned. Don't be. My wife says I'm a procrastinator or something. I don't know what that means. She's smarter than me. No, she's right though. I do procrastinate a lot. Okay, yeah, Clay Creek's taking out some skinny machines for you, Justin. I knew someone was taking something out there for you, but yeah, Chad, scouting is key to everything. If you want success with that. Oh, hey, Kevin Sanders. Oh boy, this is gonna be great. Paul, can't imagine getting the numbers you do. In Washington, we can only use box traps. Adds a new degree of difficulty. Absolutely, Paul. Every part of the country has different rules and regulations. For you guys only able to use box traps, that would be difficult. I would like to see some of that on YouTube. How you guys do just box sets. The learning from that would be awesome because I could still apply something like that here as well as pretty much anyone across the country could apply their you know skills with box sets. Then it's not like, yeah, I can show like I did the other day my 220s, but 220s are probably only legal in 2/3 of the states at best. So it helps some people, but a box lesson, that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see that. Kansas trap, you're scouting for coyotes this time of year. That's kind of your bread and butter out there, isn't it? I know a couple people out that way, and that seems to be about all they have is that and badgers for the most part. Chad, yeah. So I gotta tell that story now. Um, my wife's in there. I think she has hers on too, actually. So probably one of the highlights of the NTA convention for me, Chad, who's commenting on here. I met him and his daughter, and his daughter Macy. She watched I don't even know if it was a live or if it was an actual video I made, but me and my wife couldn't decide if I should get orange shirts or green shirts made. When I met Chad and his daughter, she actually made me and my wife both green and orange bracelets, so we could kind of compromise on it, and that just blew me away. I mean, that was some of the people I've met doing this. It is so cool, and just the thought, of making something like that for a guy you've never met before on YouTube, and that's cool. That really shows. That shows that I'm making a difference here and really helping people. For them to take their time to do something like that for me, that blew me away. That was that and the kids cave. Those are probably those were the two top things for me. I was pretty honored to get this bracelet here. I know my wife was too. She almost cried when I came home with that bracelet for her. So thank you guys again. That had definitely made my weekend. Ryan, it's always off. Do I plan on going to ITA convention? You're planning on the NTA at Ohio. It's most likely not going to happen, but you never know. Yeah, I'll be at the ITA for sure next year, Ryan. Yeah, we always have it first. It's always, what is it? Labor Day weekend, the weekend after Labor Day. So if Labor Day is that Monday, it's the following weekend. I'll be there for sure. I won't miss the ITA. Matter of fact, they actually asked me to do a real demo at the ITA this year. So pretty nervous about that one. Hopefully they can do it like Friday late afternoon. After maybe a couple of these, I'll loosen up maybe. Ken Bowen, good to hear you and Uncle Clint talk trapping on his podcast. Yeah, I was pretty nervous about that one. Not a whole lot of people knew I was going to go do that, but I was definitely nervous. He's one of the people that is very well known in this industry. And when Alan at Funkies again hooked me up with him to do a podcast, that was pretty cool. That was pretty neat. I was pretty honored to be there. Bushy's howling. How we doing, bud? Trey, you enjoyed the show on Trapping Inc. Yeah, that was question on that. Did you find a YouTube link to that by any chance to where you could actually see us talking? He sent me a link to it where I could see us talking, but when I put it on a computer, it was just his background and you just heard us talk. Kind of curious why that is. I don't know if it's just my phone or what it was, but it was it was fun. I that guy's pretty fun. I would love to actually trap with him. He sounds like a pretty cool dude. Mike Sorensen, how was Clint? It was fun. It was a good time. I talked about my muskrat stretcher idea for stabilizers. He really liked that, so I'm supposed to go up to Alan at Funkies and talk to him about actually him making or designing something kind of along the lines of what I'm using now. So that'd be kind of cool, kind of neat. Jacob from Coast Bay, Oregon. I got a lot of West Coasters. Anybody out there in California? Probably not, because there's not a whole lot of trapping that goes on out there. Chad, no, thank you guys. That was so cool. I think once my daughter gets to bed, my wife's putting her to bed tonight. My wife, the better half, is gonna step in here and talk a little bit for us. So, Mark, you're watching my trap prep work video now. How are you double dipping? I don't. How do? I'll tell you what, guys. I know a lot of my buddies, especially a few of them that are on here right now. They got to have that TV in their shop for background noise and to watch stuff while they're working. There's no way I could do that. If there's a TV out in my garage, I'm gonna sit down, start drinking beer, and I'm done. Like there's no way, absolutely no way. Matter of fact, when I'm flushing coon, most of the time it is dead silent in there. Everyone's like, "You gotta have a background noise." Not me. I'll spend 3 to 5 hours in there with nothing but the walk-in freezer running, and that's the way I like it. I'm that guy that also drives to and from work with the radio off the whole time. I'm just weird, I guess. Heck, I don't know. Al, hey, thanks for stopping in, bud. We'll catch you later. Veronica Steins, you would like to start flushing your critters. What knife would you recommend? Good question. There's so many flushing knives out there. I used the Necker 600. I really liked it. Since then, I switched to the Caribou, and I will probably never leave that knife. I might experiment with something, but I don't see it being any better. Uh, I like the flex that a Caribou has. A Necker is solid. I mean, you're not flexing that sucker at all. But and some people prefer the rugged structure of the Necker. They don't want that flex to them. But no matter what you do, they all have different angles and um, degrees of curve to them. Get something that fits your beam, or I would just get a beam that fits your knife, I should say. Get a knife that you like, but then you guys need to get a beam that works for you. Uh, and beams, I've used the same beam for going on 5 years now, so it's probably done 3,000 coon on it, and I got a few chips and stuff in it. But at the end of the year, I'll just kind of sand them out, and you're pretty much good. Flintlock 25 is a good interview article in the magazine. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I was pretty honored when they called me up and said, "Hey, would you mind an interview for the American Trapper?" And the first thing I said is, "You got a lot better options than me, I promise you." And he still wanted to do it, which I was pretty surprised by. But that was cool. I mean, that was really neat. That was kind of my first public, other than YouTube, somebody wanting to talk to me, and that was pretty neat. And there's, like I said before, there's guys down here that run all over me as far as coon numbers when they want to, but I'm just the only idiot still chasing coon in a poor fur market and trying to film it at the same time. So yeah, that was fun. A few things got kind of mixed up in the interview a little bit. but nothing major. I think in one of them he said I was one of the kids that was hired to carry the birds. I was actually running my own set of dogs with my dad when I was 12 years old. He'd send me off with a pair of dogs, and I was doing some of the. I'd go in a different direction with 5 or 6 clients of his at all of my dad's at a time. We'd separate, and at 12 years old, I was able to guide my own bird dogs. That was pretty cool. Although I'm pretty sure he kept most of the money. I only get like $50 at the end of the weekend, so kind of just kind of realized that I'm gonna have to give him a call now. That kind of frustrates me. Oh, Trev. Okay, so you have to be a member of their website. Okay. Yeah, I would like to join him on the line. I think that would be fun. Yeah, warm clothes up there for sure. Yeah, it's crazy. I should talk to him sometime about exchanging a trip. I'll come up there and run a weekend with him. Have him come down here and run a weekend with me. I think that'd be very educational for both of us. We're in very different parts of the world, chasing very different animals. That would be fun. That would be a blast. You're in New Brunswick, Canada. Okay. So Trev, did you find out about my site because of that podcast with him then? Tri County Trapper. Any new traps or sets plan on trying this year? Not really. Uh I shouldn't say not really. One thing I am gonna do, hopefully, um, right around Thanksgiving, I am gonna try to get on some private ground, do some trapping for coyotes and stuff on some private ground. I actually have a really good buddy of mine lives up in northern Iowa. Hell of a good coyote trapper, but he's never caught a bobcat before. So he's going to come down here and join me. I've lined up some private ground. We're going to try and catch him his first bobcat and a few coyotes along the way. I'm just going to honestly just kind of learn from him. I mean, he's one of the guys that catches. I mean, it's not crazy numbers, but he catches coyotes. I think last year was like 40 some coyotes in footholds or something like that, and that's pretty impressive, So I can definitely have something to learn from him, especially as far as private ground goes. So gonna hopefully try and get him on his first bobcat, and I'm sure somewhere down the line he'll repay the favor. So Mike, no radio, I'm nuts. Yeah, I know I'm a different cat, man. I like my silence. Hopefully they didn't hear me. Trav's only $60 a year for membership, and then you have to access all their vids, and tutorials, and interviews. Pretty sweet deal, actually. Cool, man. I'll check into that. I know I'm subscribed to all this stuff, but I'll have to message him and talk to him. Hey Ray, how we doing? Mark, you're watching my live on your TV through your laptop and watching videos on your phone. How in the hell do you multitask like that? As according to my wife, men can't multitask, so I don't know how that worked. Chad, you just made your own fleshing beam tonight. That's awesome. What do you make it out of? I'm curious. I know they generally want a hardwood, but I'm kind of curious what you made it out of. Yeah, Mark asked the same thing. Good question. Hey, anytime, Veronica. Trev, oh, he'd do that in a heartbeat. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, no, I try to explain everything. I've said it before in these lives, but the whole reason I started this was to show people that a blue collar guy that has a job and a family can still catch decent numbers. So many people think, oh, full time job, it limits my time, which it does. It does. It can limit your time. Or I've got a family, I can't do it. And, yeah, that'll limit your time too. But you can still push yourself to catch numbers if you want to. Even if you have to drive a little ways, it's still very possible. Trev, it might not have been a few years ago. I really started filming this back in September. I think I started this whole YouTube series back in September. Is when I started my scouting series. I think one of my first ones was with my GPS unit. Ryan, you scouted a little bit today. Gonna push hard. Have to before I want to smash my 100K season. When I rode up there with you, Ryan, I think you got a really good idea now. I've pointed you in the direction of where you need to go, and I don't think you're going to have a problem hitting that 100 coon. Uh, like I talked about to you before, if you're going to do it though, it's time to start working out now. You got to get yourself in shape to be able to handle that many stops. It's going to be some work for you, buddy. Back in it after 25. Big question. Why dog proofs over 220s? That's a really good question. Where I'm at, there are so many houses. Uh, I am not afraid to set a dog proof 50 yards from my house, especially if I got some cover between me and the house so they can't see me. I have no problem setting a dog proof that close to a house. Here in Iowa, you got to be 200 yards away, at least for a 220. And in my opinion, if I know there's a chance that house has a dog or I've seen them up there with a dog, I'm not setting it anyway. That's the last thing we do is any more negative publicity for a trapper to catch somebody's pet. I've found some dynamite trails that I'm going to catch a bobcat here, just that really thick timber. And, I've caught a few bobcats now to the point where I can really recognize those trails where cats are going to be coming through. You'll catch a lot of coon in them too, but you can just tell that there's going to be a bobcat here. And I've passed on them just because, I watched that little boy Timmy up the road here fetch with his dog 500 yards away, but I know his grandparents live down the road and this trap set was right in between them. There's a chance they might run up and down the road, and it's just I'll pull myself out of that equation every single time. It is not worth it. Even if I don't pick up that bobcat, there's plenty of them down here. I'll find it somewhere else. I'm the same way with snares. Just a personal thing. It's I like to say keep it common sense in your head. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. How many bobcats can I keep in Iowa? In the southern tiers and a few along the west side, you can catch 3. Uh, there's a few tiers that you can catch 1. I think there's still some in central Iowa, north central Iowa, where it's 0. Matter of fact, I'm positive on that. I'm just not sure how many. Hey, Trapper Jay, what's up? How we doing, bud? Oh yeah, everyone says hi to him. The celebrity's here now. I see how it is. Chad, you made it out of a hardwood 2x10. Any idea what it was? Like oak or something? I'm kind of curious. Hey, anytime, Ryan. I've known you for a while, and I've watched you kind of grow as a trapper a little bit, and it's gonna be good. Even if you don't hit that 100 this year, you're going in the right direction, and that's what you need to do. When I set out trying to catch 1,000, it was like a 5-year goal. Well, I want to do it that year, of course, but it took me about 5 years to expand enough to actually reach it. So, Trev, yeah, yeah, Trev, you're right. There's a lot of sites out there that if you're not careful, if you ask a beginning question, people tear you apart. That's kind of why I started my Facebook group. So you want to be a trapper, uh, just because I'm going to watch that site very closely, and if somebody asks a question of is this a raccoon or a fox or something like that, they're not going to get thrown under the bus because some people just don't know. They're learning, or maybe they live in a city like Chicago or something and never seen either of them, so they don't know what it is. Uh, and that's kind of why I made that, so that way beginning people can go out there to that site and really really learn from the very very beginning. A lot of people live in the country. Obviously you grow up on gravel roads, you're going to know exactly what these animals are, probably heard something about trapping, but you don't know what it is. And that's one thing I'm going to do, especially with my new series I came up with, So You Want to Be a Trapper, starting all over from the very beginning. So no, I appreciate that, Trev. Yeah, there's no stupid question when it comes to trapping. Every question ever probably looked stupid at some point, and then it became the next best thing. Probably 200 years ago when someone put a hole in the bank and said it looks like a pocket set. Oh, that's stupid. Well, guess what? It's one of the best ways to catch your 4 big water animals right there. So, how's everybody doing tonight? We need more ambassadors for trapping. Oh, not like me. No, not one. Not like me. She must be letting the dog out. Oh, she went outside. Chad, you made it out of oak. Okay, I figured it's some kind of hardwood like that. On the dog proofs, first 220s. Most of my property is private. Big difference, I guess. Your reason certainly makes sense. This is Brett. Yeah, I figured it was you, Brad. I kind of put that together, but yeah, if I was on private ground, let's just say this: if my trail has decent grass on it, and I know there's no chance of catching a dog or a cat on it, I'll 220 it every time. Uh, if I get a good stretch where I got 2 miles between houses and the ditches aren't mowed down, to really short, if I still got that grass that's this tall that I can weave under my muskrat stretcher, yeah, I'm 220 in every one of them. I prefer 220. They're very very efficient. No blood, no nothing like that. I'll stick with them for sure. That's what I prefer actually, but yeah, I can't do it in most spots. So Trev, you teach firearm safety to kids. That's cool, man. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Trapper J, number one answer you get in a trapping group when asked what a track is, chupacabra. Yeah, I've seen that a lot too, especially with blurry pictures. Like, what is this chupacabra? It's yeah. I'll say more. Jake, Jakey Crack Outdoors. You can't use body grips on land in PA. Yeah, every state's different. That's one thing I'm very lucky about being able to do here is being able to have those conibears or body grips on dry land. That's I mean it's man, I love my 220. So they're on my favorite set to make is probably 220 set. Just for the chance you're gonna catch that bobcat, that coon, anything that comes through there, skunk. Most likely it won't spray in a 220. Definitely one of my big things. Justin, what's my workout for preseason trapping? Well, this year I'm definitely gonna have to do that. I promise you. I gained like 30 pounds since the last season, so I swear Reese's needs to quit coming out with all kinds of holiday candy because that just kills me. I mean, heck, now you got eggs, you got trees, you got um, pumpkins. Reese's, they're my kryptonite. But no, I've started running a little bit, not like I need to by any means, but I'll start trying to run up and down our lane here. It's about a half mile of dead end road, and I'll try and start running a couple miles a day when it comes. But the biggest thing I think, almost even I would say bigger than working out, but I'll start on a multivitamin vitamin C kick pretty hard late September, even maybe early October. But that helps just keep my immune system up because it's so easy to get wore down. I don't care how good a shape you are in. You run up and down 189 ditches in a day, you're gonna feel it. Uh, even the setting of DPs and 220s by hand, that'll wear you out. So it really doesn't matter. I don't think how good a shape you are in. You're using a whole lot different muscles than you would just jogging or trying to do sit ups. Which God, that's me and sit ups. That I better take a breath before I sit up because I'm not gonna be able to breathe once I get up there. Trev, what's my goal? Yeah, I'm gonna hit 1,000 this year. I hope. Uh, like I said a little bit earlier, my crop rotation is a lot better this year, so that's gonna really help a lot. It opens up like 20 some miles of more line that I've already had um, in my head that I trapped 2 years ago when I caught 1,082. So between that and me adding locations to it, I'm not gonna say it shouldn't be a problem because you just never know it's unpredictable. We could have a foot of snow on the second day of season. I don't know, but I feel a lot better about it this year for sure. You can only use body traps on land if it's in a box or bucket in Michigan. That's just crazy. You guys have a lot more. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, but you got like martin and wolverine and stuff up there, don't you? Because I think the martin you hang them on the trees. That'd be fun. I'd love to trap some of them sometime. That looked awesome. Chad, Reese's are not awesome. They've drastically contributed my obesity. That's not a good thing. You'll, Trapper Jay, you'll start walking more on November 6th. I might put you to work on November 7th, so you better come up here a little prepared. No, I won't do that to you. Kansas Trapper 12-ounce curls for me. And that's one of the things I'm kind of jealous about private land trappers is, you can literally drive up to the set and most of theirs is flat right next to them. They just get out of the truck and dispatch it and get back in the truck. Mine, I look down that ditch that sometimes 20 feet and I'm like, damn, I really don't want to go down there. But honestly, I think that's one of the reasons for my uh, moderate success is I do go down there. I do set those spots. A lot of them. I avoid a lot of the big water spots, but those dry land spots, where I'm running down there and I'll check bait in it at least every other day. It's so easy to get, I won't say lazy, but get discouraged and just worn out and frustrated. I won't lie. By day 3, I'm pretty growly. I've had a long 4 days because, opening day of setting, what I'm going to set is going to take me 11 hours probably. I'll go through a tank of gas just setting on that day. But I'm going to set this year probably close to 400 traps right off the bat. And it'll wear on you. I mean, just the mental fatigue of just set after set after set, plus the physical on top of it. It is very draining. It is very draining. Oh, you don't have Wolverine up there? Okay. How many miles do I typically run on my line? It varies so much. My work line, I'm 35 miles from work if I take all concrete. But if I take my back road trap, and it's probably 50 miles to work there. My main road line right off the bat, you're looking at about 110 to 120, give or take. And then I've actually come up with a new strategy this year for my road line. I'm going to try to set my entire road line that I have in the first week and a half. So, kind of what my plan is, I'm going to set the first 75% of all the private ground that or public ground that I've got lined up. And then every single day, add about 5%, which should be about 30 or 40 traps until I have it all out over the course of about a week. Let it sit for another 3 or 4 days. By the time that's all out and set, I'm going to be pushing 200 miles pretty easy. But that'll be the first time I've ever done that. I wanted to last year, but I just got behind. I got worn down. Filming took a lot more time than I thought it would. As far as, I tried to make sure I come home and get everything edited. I wanted to put everything up that night. I thought that I've never seen a whole lot of footage as far as what was caught that day. A lot of stuff might be a couple days later, someone pushed something up, or even a month later. I want to kind of give you a day by day deal on it of what I'm catching each day. So you could come in at 11 o'clock at night before bed and see what I did that day. That's something that I don't see a whole lot of on YouTube, but that made for some long days. It'd be a lot easier if I could just store all the SD cards and come back in December and post everything. Trev, you want to try making a bucket 220 trap? Seems easy to do. I've don't personally never. I've used buckets before with very mild success, but I have been told by some very, very knowledgeable people that catch a lot of raccoons every year to use boxes. Boxes work better because, from my understanding, they don't have that echo sound in there when they touch that bucket. If you touch an empty bucket, it kind of just makes that echo sound. I guess I don't know what exactly to call it, but everyone's told me that boxes will outperform buckets 10 to 1. and these people are very knowledgeable, and I believe them. I would definitely gonna try making some myself too. How far from home are you going to be in the longest part of your trap line? How This year will probably be 45 miles in a radius. If I'm centered here, I'm trapping, everything around me. But the farthest I'd probably get in the straight line is probably about 45 miles on any road. Uh, we'll see where that goes, though. It might, we might end up getting 75 miles. Hell, I don't know yet. It's too early to tell. Say fish carcasses for bait and buckets. Yeah, a lot of people I know use fish for bait for sure. Best advice I'd give someone interested in trapping: first off, 100% know your laws. That's every place is different, but just go out there and have fun, and be safe. In my videos so far, if so you want to be a trapper, I show the 220 conibear. It's a very effective trap, but it's a very deadly trap. You can hurt yourself pretty bad, pretty bad. So um, learn your rules. Uh, just go out there and have fun. That's why we all do this. There's not a whole lot of money in it anymore. Just go out there. If you're looking for coon, find some trees, find some corn. If there's coons in your area, you're gonna find a coon trail. That's a guaranteed if you have coon in there. Trapper J, run your line my way and can stop for a beer every day. Just one? Something tells me that if I met up with you, we'd be sitting there for a couple hours and I'd be calling for a ride home. Hey, Hunter's Diary, how we doing? Trev, no, the boxes are wood. Yeah, like Trapper J just said. A lot of people make them out of like plywood, like probably half-inch plywood or something. They're the same kind of design, a top and a back piece. A lot of times the back piece is made out of like a quarter-inch wire mesh or something that helps get the scent out a little bit. And on the front side where it is, you'd cut notches into it, very similar to how a bucket would be, and you slide that 220 in there. Some people have a bottom to them too. It sounds to me like a lot of people that catch a lot of coon with them, they don't. They leave it open so they can actually feel the grass and the dirt. Probably makes them feel a lot more comfortable walking into that. Again, I've never done it, so I can't personally say, but I at convention I was able to pick the brains of a couple guys that catch 400 to 600 coon in them every late season, which is just blows my mind around here. So it was definitely fun learning to be able to pick their minds. But yeah, that's something I'm definitely gonna try this year for sure. Yeah, yeah, it'd be about like a cubby for sure. Make them movie stars. You make boxes out of scrap plywood and leave the back open, covered with wire mesh to allow airflow through to spread them. Well, of course you do. I just told you that. No, that's pretty much the common thing. Is leave that back open. Uh, Seems like even I don't think some people I know do like a little area this small that's open, but most people leave the back completely open. Chad, you got wood conibear boxes? Okay. You're gonna put a couple hundred of them out. That's awesome. I want to see how that does. That's speaking of boxes. Something I'm gonna go after. There's two animals in Iowa that still elude me: a gray fox, which I think I lost my opportunity at. I had a farmer that had some on trail camera, big bow hunter actually, and he hasn't seen him in the last 2 years. When he saw him the first year he saw him, I couldn't get on there till January 10th till he was done. I mean, he's a big bow hunter. He films for Jury Outdoors and stuff, and I couldn't get on there till January 10th. And they're still seeing him out there, but I was so busy with other things, I never made it out there. In the last 2 years, he hasn't. No, that was last year. Yeah, so it's only been 1 year now that they haven't seen any footage of them, so kind of disappointed about that. But I am going to be going after weasels this late season. When I do a late season coon run, I'm planning on heading north a little ways, going after coon in the snow. I'd love to have out 50 weasel boxes. That's the only other animal that's eluded me here in Iowa, and I'm really wanting to hit that. I think that would be a blast. Justin Steins, 4 makes the beta 220. I'll tell you what, that man, I've learned so much from 4 at conventions. He's one of the first people that I actually got to sit down and pick the brains of when I was learning to trap seriously. And boy, if I had a pen and paper with me, that I forgot way more than what I remember talking to him, because it was just so much. Just I probably talked to him for 45 minutes about coon trapping, and it was just like I couldn't believe some of the stuff he did and how it worked and how efficient he was. They work great when food is scarce. Yeah, it's for buckets around here, buckets or boxes for coon. It's really seems to be a late season thing. I think even weasels is the same too. It's kind of a late season thing when they're hurting for food pretty good. No, Chad Walker made it. Sorry you're late. Yeah, it's gonna cost you, bud. Justin Steins, you got a half dozen weasel boxes. Consider them sold. Next time I see you, I definitely want those suckers. That would be fun. It's something that I've never done before, but I think it would definitely be a blast. And I know there's more weasels around than people think. I had a couple people, trappers actually, that don't trap a whole lot anymore, said, yeah, there's a lot more weasels around than think, even where I'm at. Chad Walker, you're rescuing possums from kitchen sinks. You were rescuing possums, so you were stuck under the kitchen? Or you got stuck under the sink? Ah, you had to fix a drain. We'll just have the wife pull you out. Hell, you'll be fine. So you think Trapper Jay, you gonna be able to hang with me on the 7th here? A little different style of trapping than you're used to down there. Chad Walker, what'd you miss? Oh, you missed a lot. I was just bragging you up earlier and talking about you being my idol and how you catch a bunch of coyotes, and then you just, you weren't here. You weren't here. You missed it. Yeah, I'm getting low, Justin. That's fine. I'll have one more of these, and that'll put me to bed. That'll definitely put me to bed. So, oh yeah, I was just giving shit, Jay. I know you'll be able to hang up with me. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna do a lot of filming opening day. Honestly, I want to catch 150 coon this year opening day. That's kind of my plan right now. We'll see. But I had my record year 3 years ago of 3 years ago of 134. Last year's 132. Really hope to hit 150 this year. Hey Trev, have a good night, buddy. Yeah, I know you used to road trap up here in Iowa a little bit, didn't you? Because I know, or do you still do it down there in Missouri? Because I know down there they have a lot different rules with road trapping. I thought. Dredger 9, you walked the family on the Boise River today and saw a whole lot of weasel mink tracks along the bank. That's pretty cool. We drove over down there below the Des Moines River, and my boy shot his first carp with a bow today. At the same time, right before that, he passed driver's ed, so that was a pretty big day for him. It was definitely a good day. So. Good night, baby. I love you. Good night, princess. Yeah, it's 9:00. It's time for her to go to bed. Oh. She's too damn cute for her own good, that's for sure. Walker, am I getting any trap prep done? Yes and no. I made some pogos the other day. But I need to get the shop cleaned up and organized, and then I can really start hitting stuff hard. I still got all my traps in totes from last year. Still got to sort the pros off them, figure out what's good as far as anchors, how many more I need to make. Need to get all the traps power washed, check the tags, so that way I can redip them again. Oh, you still do it down there in Missouri? Because don't they? Is it just the snare laws that are different down there? Because I know they have to be cable restraints down there, and you can't allow entanglement and shit like that. I'm not 100% certain on what it is, but I know it's definitely a little different. Procrastinating. That's the same thing my wife says. You know, you think it's procrastinating now. Uh, what was it? The year we moved here. We moved here in November. I still trapped out of my old garage in my old house until March when I sold the house. That following year, I built my garage in like August, I think it was. I had my uncle doing the wiring in my shop. It was 2 days before pre-staking season, and I was putting trap tags on traps because I was so busy that whole summer. I've never felt that stressed out about trapping for my life because I was so far behind. Normally, come 3 weeks before pre-staking, I got all my stuff ready to go, ready to throw in the truck and go. I've got all my scouting done, and that year it was just literally I'm sitting there like 2 nights before trying to tag traps, new traps. Uh, we skipped power washing, we skipped dyeing. It was pretty rough, but we managed. Actually, that would have been no, that wasn't the year I hit 1,082. I think that was my 714. But yeah, that stressed me out. And hopefully we're not that far behind this year. Cable restraints and only 155 on land in Missouri. Okay. Do you like the 155s? Because what's the difference between that and a 160? It's just one spring, isn't it? Chad Walker getting the power washer out tomorrow, running out of time before field work. Yeah, I know you do a lot of farming, so you're not going to have a lot of time once you get busy doing that. Josh LaFollette, did all the COVID stuff affect fur prices or make it harder to sell? I'm actually sitting on all my fur right now. I shouldn't say all of it. I've sold some of it. I'm going to be moving all my beaver here probably in the next month. But yeah, all my coons for the most part. I sold a few to my buddy up at Sleepy Creek Tannery. He hired a new guy and needed a couple hundred smaller coon for him to practice on. So I sold him 200 coon. But other than that, yeah, I've got all my coon yet. I keep hearing good things about later this next year, things might turn around. And really, there's a lot of things pointing in that direction. So, not really out a whole lot waiting. Just got them stored in the walk-in freezer, turned it into basically a big cooler, and just holding all the furs over. Got them all plastic bagged up, and keep the beetles out. Beetles are bad right now. I actually found one fur that fell behind a freezer today. I'll have to take a video of that. I mean, this thing was devoured by beetles. It almost looked like one of those little ant colonies that you can see in glass with all the lines. That's what this was. I mean, this thing was just destroyed. But they're bad right now. I mean, it's warm out. They're bad. Ryan, you got more pogos coming, but I haven't forgot about you. Kansas Trapper, you got all your canine traps ready. When's your season start over there in Kansas? Hello from Eastern Oregon. Man, you're out there a ways. Trapper J, you usually wait till almost season to get your canine traps ready. Too many chances to smell contamination. So are you big on the smell? I know a lot of people say scent doesn't matter. A lot of people say scent does matter. Kind of what's your thoughts on that? Everyone has different opinions on it. I'm really curious on that. 155 is 5 inches wide with 2 springs. You hate them. So what's the diameter of 160 then? Is that 6 inches? I'm guessing. Jakey Crack Outdoors. Anyone going to the Ohio convention September 11th? Well, I won't be there. I'll be in Ohio next year for the national, hopefully. Justin Steins. I keep hearing prices are going to do better this year. It might be later in the year. It might be after season. That's why, don't quote me on this, but I'd almost encourage everybody that's, if you have the time to do it, store your fur, freeze it. If you have the facility to freeze stuff, do it, because things might turn around come January, February. I don't know this, but there's a lot of people that are a lot more in the know it than I am that are saying this. So I'm actually storing all my fur from last year. Hopefully I store all my fur from this year and be able to make some pretty good bank next year, but we'll see. You got some fur up there at Sleepy Creek, do you, Jay? Yeah, Walker. I've heard that the 155s are deadly on rats under ice. That's pretty cool. I remember you posting that, in the Snapchat group. That'd be fun. Man, I wish you had some rats up there. That'd be cool. Dredger 9, what's my preference on DPs? You prefer the Dukes, easier set, and never tripped and empty. I run all Dukes too. I got a few traps that are the easy traps. They're not around anymore, but I really like them too. I run all pull only. I'll only run pull only. Just for the fact that I firmly believe if you put a push-pull trigger in a dog proof, first off, no dog proof is dog proof. It's dog resistant. But if you take that factor away of having to pull and you can push it, you could catch a Chihuahua, every cat that comes by, because basically, essentially, all you have is a foothold trap with a cone around it. It's the same exact thing. You don't worry about the smell, just want a clean wax trap when you first go out. Yeah, that makes sense, Jay. I get it. Chad Walker, damn right, I'll be in Ohio next year. All depends when the date is for sure. July 24th is my anniversary, so I'm not real sure when the actual convention is out there. But as long as it doesn't interrupt the anniversary, this year I left Spencer a little early on Saturday to spend a little time with my wife. But if it's later in the month or into August, then I'm really looking forward to going. J160 is 6 inches. I was wondering. What are you taking up Sleepy Creek? I know Ben pretty well. He does damn good work. We went up there for his open house, me and a buddy, and that was a pretty good time. Ate some food, drank some beers. It was pretty fun. Mark, you speed dip all your canine traps and let them hang outside till season. Do you have any issues with that? I mean, I'm assuming you probably don't, but a lot of people say you can't mix it with gas, this and that anymore. There's so many people have different methods of doing things and preferences. I've gone away from the gas dip. I'm more of a water dip guy, but the speed dip's been around for years, so obviously, it must not have too much effect on it. Six by six is 160. You run 40 160s for coon and fisher. I know a lot of people say 160s are deadly on coon. Just by the way, excuse me, it catches them right behind the neck. They say that's an awesome set for them. I just prefer the 220s just because they're more, I don't know, more power behind them, I guess. At the same time, I'm going to catch a bobcat or a fox and hold it too. Maybe a 160 do that too. I don't know. I've never used a 160. Justin, you hope you remember who we are in Ohio. You guys know better than that. Yeah, you better know better than that for sure. Trapper J, most of your traps are easy traps. She used to send them to me all the time. There she is. The beautiful lady. Get in here.
Ow, you ran over my toe.
Oh, well, watch your tail. So, She made an appearance. We're showing Chad the bracelets that his daughter made us. So he was on here earlier. Chad Walker, if you love me, you'll let me go to the Ohio convention next year. That's possum, by the way. So
I have heard a lot about possums. So.
And not just the ones I catch in the garage. November 17th is the Kansas Fur Bearers. Ooh, Justin says he's going to kidnap me to take me to Ohio next year, one way or another.
Fair enough. I won't pay a ransom, so you probably can keep him.
That's just brutal. That's just brutal. Oh, Chad is still here. Yeah, good. No gas smell at all with the, the speed dip. How long do you let them sit out there then? That speed dip, that gas has got to take a week or so for sure to get off there. The reef robber says, hey. Oh, shoot. Catch a few coon and coyote sets during the breeding season in the timber, usually big boars. Yeah, later in the season, those big boars, they're out looking for some love too. Maybe not. It's worth a shot, right? But yeah, Trapper Jay is going to come up here with me running next year, so that'll be fun. He's going to come up here, I think he said Saturday afternoon, and catch up a little bit, and then he'll run open day with me next year. Justin Steins, what's it like living with a slip?
He doesn't have too big of ego yet, so it's pretty easy so far. Although when he talked about the people that had asked him to sign his shirt at the trapping convention, it was like, I wrote a book. I'm over here in the corner. But
I'm very proud of you.
No, he's good. He's humble. I brag about him more than I think he brags about himself. So
you brag about me?
Of course, I'm proud of you.
I work at that is now heard for everybody.
I work at an accounting firm, and we were talking about doing some YouTube advertisements, and I talked about him, and it was kind of funny because we had a whole bunch of people in an accounting firm Googling Iowa Trapper trying to look him up, and it was like, maybe I shouldn't have told them who you were.
They'd be like, God, you married some redneck from Southern Iowa?
No, our CEO, she married a redneck too, so she understands.
Oh, that's funny.
The video with the crazy lady was great. I'm still bitter on that one. So I had a few coworkers that watched that one, and they were all giggling, and I said, great, I owe you for that one. So I'll pay him back someday.
Oh, shoot. That was funny. That was funny. You will pay me back too. I know you will. Michael, you're out. Have a good night, buddy. Hey, Dan, Judith, how we doing? Oh, did I say next year? Sorry, Trapper Jet. Yeah, this season. We're only about 2.5 months out, so.
Hi, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan says hi. It's all about the love. Pay the ransom. What book did you write? Why don't you go get a copy of your book? Go grab one. Go grab one. Bring it up here. We'll sell a few books.
I wrote a middle grade fiction book, so it's for younger kids.
Go get it.
I'll go get a copy.
If you don't, I'm going to when I go to the bathroom. So, notice her shirt, by the way. Oh yeah, be proud of her. Yeah, I'll show her off all the time. So if you really want to support us,
don't say that.
Yeah, get on Amazon. And look up Jennifer Deaver, The Traveler. So I'm pretty proud of her. She wrote a book. What has that been?
It's been 2 years.
I was gonna say, right at 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So get on Amazon, check it out. She'll be the real celebrity. I'm not on Amazon.
But it's not about trapping. So
no, it's not trapping stuff. But no, if you have a younger kid, what range would you say?
They said like 8 to 16.
8 to 16.
So, yeah.
Pretty cool book, full of adventure, full of me.
No. No.
Explain your book a little bit. Come on, go ahead. You're fine.
No, you can read about it on Amazon if you want to.
Oh, shoot. See, people have grandkids. They're family people on here. You're
Yeah.
fine. You're fine.
It's fun. When I have friends that'll buy it or whatever, their kids will talk to me about it later, which is kind of neat. But a lot of this exciting stuff that I was supposed to be able to do, like book readings and stuff, got canceled because of COVID. So
Yeah, COVID ruins everything.
it was pretty sad. There were a few neat trips that I was going to get to go on and didn't get to because of that. But
Yeah.
it's okay. Maybe if I write another one, it'll happen, right?
Oh, we're in the process of it.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So
hopefully.
yeah, if I ever get time. So.
You will. Macy's looking up the book now. That's awesome.
8:16.
Funny, Justin. Funny.
What is that?
8 to 16 is right up my area.
Oh,
for age.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more mature than that. I
It
showed
fit
that
his
convention.
comprehension.
You married me.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan, that's harsh.
How do you put
That's harsh.
he keeps life interesting. We laugh a lot, I think. If
I
you
scared
didn't
that-
laugh, you might lose your mind. So
I scare the hell out of her all the time. That's how she puts up with me.
oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
That's Chad. That's Macy who made us our bracelets. So.
Oh, she'll have to please let me know what she thinks of it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's everyone going after this year? Obviously I'm a coon guy down here in Southern Iowa, but what everyone going after beaver, coyotes? The coyote market's still good. Muskrats are great if you have a population of them. Down here, we're in such a bad drought here in Iowa that I'm not seeing it happen. Just there's no muskrats around. Every creek I go by is either bone dry or a third the water that was in it. So coyotes. Where are you at in 1960? I can't remember what you said. I think you said earlier what state you're in. Justin Steins. Why are you going for cats in a cage? Come down here in this area. Go for a 220 cat. Chad Walker, I got a feeling you're going to catch a bobcat this year. I have a really good feeling about it. Wow, killed 56 last year. That's a hell of a coyote season, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Macy's going to let you know.
Good. Yeah.
So. Oh, you're out in Oregon. Okay. Wow, I didn't realize Oregon had that many coyotes out there. That's kind of interesting. Hey, Trapping with Jinx. How we doing? Hey, I have Super Chat now, honey. I didn't realize that. Hey, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. No, actually, I applied for that Super Chat here. What's that been like? 10 days ago.
It's been a little bit.
And Trapper J said, oh, yeah, it'll take you a day or two. It's been a while now. And as of earlier today, I wasn't allowed to. So thanks, man. You're my very first Super Chat person ever. So I won't forget that. I appreciate it, buddy. Jacob Hansen trying to go after your first coyote and otter. That's awesome.
I remember when we were trapping, when Jess and I were dating, he caught an otter with our son.
Yep.
And he does this cute fist pump thing. If you've watched any of his videos, it's like, yeah, you get real excited. And yeah. And he did that. And I think that's when I realized how much trapping meant to you. It was really cute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, it's.
But it wasn't by far your first otter, but man,
No.
you were pumped about it.
I was,
still.
especially since Noah was with us. Was that his first trapping?
That was the first one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's his first trapping experience. So I set this 220 over a hole in the ice, and I seen otter tracks coming up over this all the time. I thought, you know what? Let's just throw down some leaves and stuff on the outside of this hole, throw a 220 on it, so it doesn't freeze to the ice, and see what happens. And sure as heck, the next day we go out there and there's a little otter head hanging out from the conibear, and I was like, holy cow, that actually worked. I'd never done that before. I've heard of people doing it, but that was pretty cool. That was really fun. Justin, no, I haven't seen a live cat in a cage. I have not, but I know they're angry. Mink are a really good spot at avoiding me this year. I'm bringing it. Good, man. Go after the mink. With our water so low, it's gonna be hard around here. That's for sure. Coyote and beaver late season, awesome. Holy cow! 1960, $50 super chat. Wow, thank you, sir. That's awesome. No, I appreciate that. That's so cool. I've never done the super chat thing, so it's a little different for me.
The reef robber caught crabs.
Where are you seeing that at?
I caught some
Yeah,
crabs today.
Okay, I'm assuming obviously you're on some kind of the coast, the west or the east coast. 28 keepers. What's the regulation on them? Like, is there a size limit or something like that? I'm curious. Surely you're not out there on the
in Oregon.
Okay, in Oregon. I was gonna say, yeah, surely you're not on a boat on the Bering Sea right now.
Guaranteed Country, this is our office. Justin doesn't like I don't let him put these in our living room. So
yeah, I don't know why.
The office, if you look around, we've got a coyote, a mink, a fox.
I'll turn them.
Don't look too much at our messy house, but
you won't be able to see the coyote. It's too far over.
And then he's got other creatures over.
Yeah,
I've got.
Can I pick up your?
Don't pick up the computer.
Okay, that's probably good. If you see the stream end real quick, you know that I'm in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
You know, especially since she does all her schoolwork on this. Like I said before in my videos, you know, she's the real super mom. She's working full time during the day, does full time school at night, and still puts up with my ass. So that right there says who she is. She's definitely a super mom, that's for sure. Pretty efficient too. 2 traps and 28 keepers. That's awesome. We can go crab fishing sometime.
It would be fun.
That would be cool.
We tried crayfish one time and we got little baby fish instead.
Yeah. we put out a crawdad trap in my neighbor's pond, and I'd never actually done that before, believe it or not. And apparently you want to put meat and bloody stuff in there. I was putting bread and stuff. We caught like 60 little fish, but
then you wanted to cut them up, and I made him let them all go.
Yeah. There's a reason she doesn't trap with me.
I used to.
Every animal I catch, I would have to let go.
If it's too little or it's cute, I make him let him go.
They're like 28-pound 4X coon, and it's too little. No. We got to let it go.
My favorite are possums. I love their little pink noses. And when you hold them by the scruff of their neck and they have like a scowly face and their mouth drools, they're my favorite.
Possums are ugly.
Thank you, Noah.
You're welcome. I'm back here too.
Oh, shoot. Okay, where are we at?
We lost them. All dead animals are downstairs in the man cave. Yeah. Well, if he ever finishes my basement, they'll be in the man cave. So
patience.
Yeah.
Patience.
Yeah, I don't have much of that.
Yeah. Each person keep 12 males over 5 3/4. What kind of crab are those, Reef Robber? I'm curious. Hey, Justin, how we doing? Thanks for subscribing the other day, bud. Appreciate it.
This is the best I watched in a while.
Is it because she showed up? That's bull.
I add a touch of class. That's what
you probably do.
Come to Oregon. I have my brother.
We do, Justin.
My brother used to live in Portland, Oregon, but he moved away from there. But I never convinced him to go with me. But it was pretty. We really enjoyed checking out Oregon. I think it'd be even prettier in the fall.
Okay. You ask your granddaughter how grandma feels about all the dead animals in the living room.
We live and die by the wives behind us. Die sooner if you tick them off too quick. So
she's not lying. I feel my years draining.
Wow. All right, you can.
I'm kidding. Oh, show her your snap story from tonight. I haven't seen it yet. Other than the dog, I haven't seen it. Yeah, Boston's about ready to have his labs due in like 2 days.
I love puppies.
So we're going to see some baby puppies on Snapchat here in a little bit.
You better not show that to me or we'll end up with one.
Yeah,
too.
No, absolutely not.
I would keep every animal possible.
Yeah, someone that's obviously a troll wants to know if you're available for a date.
No, I'm good. Thanks. What the heck? You're getting spammed by a lot of these.
Yeah,
junk.
I am. I don't know how to.
Remove or report. There's report there. Up one.
Hide user.
Oh, that's fine too. Whatever. I like the way you think.
Puppies for everyone.
We bought butcher turkeys this year, and well, I did. He was surprised by them when I brought them home, but we got 3 of them, and I was like, "Yeah, it'll be all right. We'll be able to butcher these things." And I love them, and they've been pardoned from Thanksgiving now, so they're ours to keep forever.
We got all kinds of junk coming in.
Yeah, that's crazy. What the heck, honey?
I don't know. We got all kinds of junk in here. Reef Robber, you're headed out. Nice seeing you live again. Hey, thanks for stopping in, bud. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Make people I trust moderators so you can watch the chat for you. Definitely gonna have to look into that. That's for sure.
Portland is not the real Oregon. Kill elk. Oh, don't tell him that. He will
Oh.
end up there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One of his big dreams is to go to Africa. And, you know, it's one of those really big dreams that who knows. But zebras are my favorite animal. And I tell him he's not allowed to shoot one of those.
Oh, shoot. Maybe
Did you get
she's
rid of this
smarter
one?
than me. She's smarter than me. How do we block all this stupid crap on here, guys? Because that just removes the comment.
Oh. Good Lord. This is ridiculous. Do you want to
No.
hit add moderator?
No, because then they are part of my page.
Oh.
Turn trolls and trap bait. Yeah, buddy that
Traps
traps bears in Oregon.
They probably don't use dog proofs for that, right?
Actually, they do have a. We saw it at convention. Remember that possum, that big tube dog? I think it was a dog-proof bear trap. I mean, this thing was huge. You could put your thigh through it. It was pretty awesome.
There was a video we watched, or a picture we saw that had a bear with his tongue stuck in a tiny dog-proof trap. How on earth would you let that go?
Yeah, I don't know. You like the moderator idea? I'm really struggling here. Oh yeah, Chatterfry, you did buy raffle. You didn't win it, did you?
Oh my gosh.
Just click hide user. That's why, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Who are you hiding?
This weird guy. He works in an adult movie
Yeah,
theater.
hide.
We'll have to mess with this a little bit later.
Wow, that's crazy.
You really are getting hit up today.
Man, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. Someone had mentioned bringing our kids in. I had made a rule with him. We've gotten some angry things through this.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
You hold down the fort.
We got some angry messages through here, and oh, honey, Trapper Jay is calling. But I just got a little nervous, and I didn't want our kids too much in these. Because people are crazy, I guess. But oh my.
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Be like a bouncer at the
Hey,
bar.
honey, you can make Justin Steins a moderator and stuff, and they can get rid of these people too.
Okay.
So the people that are commenting that are good people, you can not the adult bookstore type.
Now that he's out of this room, let's talk about these puppies. Oh my Lanta. The last dog we ended the animal shelter and surprised Justin with it. So he was really happy with that too. So I have such a soft spot for those. Justin, I'm going to just pick add moderator, and it says you're now a moderator for the channel. Oh my. Turn me blue for a minute. Oh my, there's really so much going on here. If you tell me how, Trapper J, I will. Or tell Justin if you're still on the phone with him. Do you know how Trapper J said to turn him?
The right click on the right.
I can't
Like
really
the
keep up.
3-digit one. The 3 thing on the side.
Help me find him again. There's just, you're getting really hit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go grab my charger for my phone. It's almost dead.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll go offline.
All right, guys. I'm working on getting this crap cleared up. So I'm adding you guys as moderators, some of you guys, to kind of help me out here if you don't mind. This is junk. I apologize, guys. I'm new to this. Jesse, I'm going after coyotes this year. Yeah, I am a little bit later. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to add a few moderators if you guys don't mind helping me out here. But yeah, I'm going to go after coyotes a little bit, but it's going to be probably around Thanksgiving or so. Like I said, I got a buddy coming down here going after coyotes and hopefully catch his first bobcat. So probably going to hit coyotes a little harder then once it happens. Okay. Oh, you added Justin
Merton.
Trapper.
I don't remember which one I added. Steins. Yep.
Okay, you got him.
Mm-hmm. And Trapper J.
Man, this is just ridiculous.
I'm a little thrown off that there are a lot of Justins. You're right.
Man. We run in packs here in Iowa. Well, I guess Jay's down in Missouri, but
maybe that's a requirement to be.
yeah. To be a good trapper, you gotta have named Justin. Steins just makes good trapping gear. He doesn't actually trap anything, but that's all right. Hey, we're starting to get it cleared up a little bit. Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks, Trapper Jay, for giving me a call on that one. I know nothing about this type of stuff, so that was a whole new thing for me. A lot of people in Missouri. Will I be at the Missouri convention? I will not. Done with conventions for the year. Yeah, Muller, it is too bad. You're born and lived in Missouri for 19 years. I'm sorry about that, Justin. I started to, have a little respect for you, but that's all right. I'm just kidding. You're a good dude. Obviously, I buy all your skinning machines, and I sold quite a few for you too, so you're welcome. Justin, yeah. Only cool guy is named Justin. Absolutely. I've been friends with you for a while on Facebook. I can't remember. You're in the southeast portion of the country. I can't remember exactly where you're at. Hey, thanks, 1960. Take care, bud. Hey, thanks, Trapping with Jink. I'm trying to figure this out. I don't even know how I could block him if I was a moderator on someone else's. This is just ridiculous. Chad Walker, you don't know how to use internet, let alone these idiots. Yeah, well, same here. Yeah, thanks, 1960. I appreciate that super chat. That was cool. You're the second one to give me one. Jinx was the first one. That's funny. I didn't even have these allowed today. I still wasn't allowed as of like 4 or 5 hours ago. That was insane. Yeah, thank you guys. You guys are catching this shit well before I am.
North.
Veronica gets mad that I even mentioned her. I'm sorry. Northern Tennessee. All right, that's right. Yeah, because I followed you on Facebook. Well, I still do, but I did for quite a while. Remember last year we talked quite a bit. I remember that. Go to the user's YouTube page and block them from there. Otherwise, you have to block their comments individually. Thanks, Trapper J. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. You guys are doing awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. I've never had this happen before. I've had a couple. What was that one chick? She said something that.
I don't remember, but
Boy, it was. Wow. Very graphic.
yeah, you're lucky I'm not a jealous person.
You are. Absolutely. Oh, shoot. So, yeah, we only got like two and a half months now till season. So, it's time to start getting amped up for it. Still a lot of work to do. But, yeah, Justin, I'm seeing the deleted stuff on my end. Shaky, sign them big time. Far from. I promise you that.
If you right click, nah.
Wow, this stuff's ridiculous tonight. Man.
It's the cat.
How good we don't have a big rat in here or something like that.
What the heck is reformed stoic anyway?
I don't know. Yeah, that's hard, Jay. Man, this stuff just keeps coming. Well, Farmers Branch Outdoor, right now I'm getting hammered by all kinds of spam stuff in the comments. It's just ridiculous. I mean, just crazy ridiculous. Man.
How many pound was the beaver behind you?
Actually, I'm glad you saw that because I didn't see it with all this crap.
Yeah.
That was actually back there my biggest beaver I've ever caught. That was right at 76 pounds. It was a tank. I actually I had a real heck of a time getting it. I had a ditch it was vertical about 6 foot down, and he was heavy enough, especially with the water in him. I couldn't quite get him up to the edge, and that was interesting. That was interesting for sure.
How long ago was that? It hasn't been that long.
Probably 5 years.
Has it been that long already?
It might have been longer than that.
I remember when you caught it.
Yeah. We just got married, I think. Yeah, it's probably been 5 or 6 years ago now. He was a toad. He was an absolute toad. More fun to sit on a gravel road, drink beer when you were a kid. Yeah, the cops don't tend to appreciate that so much anymore, Possum. Yeah, I'm working on it, Mark Larson Outdoors. That's just tough. I mean, that's just annoying. I'll tell you what, though, one cool thing, that skunk back here. I'd never seen a skunk like this, but he had like shoulder and knee patches. Really, really cool. I'd never seen one like that. So that's why we ended up getting that one tanned. It was pretty cool. So just no,
I'm good.
you know, it's funny how I could catch a skunk at 8 o'clock in the morning, not see her until like 5 o'clock at night. I don't even think I smell like anything, and she'll find that smell on me instantly.
I'll know before you even get in the house that you cut a skunk. Peppermint oil is his best friend. I make him bathe in it.
Oh, that's funny.
Any goals this year?
Farmer Branch Outdoors. Yeah, you know, I got to hit that 1,000 on camera. You know, I'm not saying I am the first one, but I don't know if anybody else that's caught 1,000 and filmed it. Like I said many times before, there are guys close to me that literally will run circles around me as far as numbers. Some guys catch. I talked to one guy at convention. He's not real known. He's pretty secretive, but you know, he can catch 1,800 coon in November, catch 200 coon or 200 mink in December, and switch gears catching another 200 coyotes in January. And just the fact that they can do that just blows my mind. I mean, it's just insane. But you know, as far as I know, if I hit 1,000, I'll be the first person to hit 1,000 coon on camera, which would be a pretty big feat for me. I'd be very happy to hit that, and that's the plan for sure.
They're smarter than us at police.
What do you say?
They were having some issues with the blocking, and they said they're smarter than us hillbillies.
Yeah, get a skunk sleeper, Justin. Honestly, I've been looking into. I tried to dispatch them with the syringe pole a few years ago, and I didn't like the results of it. But I don't think I gave it a fair enough chance. So I'm going to be working on that again. I want to get one for this year. I meant to get one at a convention, but I didn't see anybody carrying anything. So, but I'm definitely going to get one. Does the skunk the
peppermint oil? I make him put it on his hands. It helps the smell. I mean, I don't know. Our dog got sprayed this year, and you name it, I tried it, and she just smelled like skunky tomato, whatever the heck else I put on her, and I couldn't get it off her fur. But when I was pregnant, I couldn't even hardly stand when he'd lay by me because I could smell it. And the peppermint oil did help.
There's a reason I'm forced to sleep in the spare room during trapping season.
Queen.
Guaranteed country. You're going for 100 coon and 100 rats. That's awesome, man. I hope you get it.
There's a coyote days in Lux next week.
Oh yeah, I know. Possum's going to coyote days. Where is that? Wyoming, I think it was. Possum. Take the skunk sleeper on your line this year. You're gonna use a syringe pole. Yeah, I seen that. I seen you got one there, Ryan. I hope it works for you, buddy. Trapper J, the trolls have thousands of counts. We will win. Boy, I appreciate it because this is new to me. I've never had this happen. All of a sudden, you throw a good-looking lady on here, and this shit just pops up everywhere.
So sorry. I'm sure it's my fault.
It is. I've never had this. I've done 50 lives now, and I've never had. No, I'm kidding. It was like 4. Sometimes it takes, and that's the thing, Justin. I tried it. A couple of them, I gave them a couple shots with it, and you know, everyone says sometimes it'll take a couple minutes, but they'll just lay down and fall asleep, and it's over. Some of them I gave 10 minutes, nothing happened. I'd run a few more sets, come back an hour later, and still nothing happened. I just don't like that. That bothers me. I don't feel it's a very humane way after that. So I got to figure something out, either the shot placement or I bought some kind of concoction they said was really good for skunks at a convention years ago. And I think I just need to go to acetone. Sounds like that's definitely what everybody uses, and that's the best way to do it. Farmer Branch, you watched every episode last year, hoping you get it. We'll do it again this year. I appreciate the support, buddy. It was discouraging. I mean, it was so frustrating when I fell short. Especially since I advertised every single one of them as 1,000 coon season day, such and such. But this year the crop rotation's in my favor, which will be a huge help. I'm slowly expanding my line a little bit, not going too much farther or getting too big.
Yeah.
So I'll still be home when they get home from school, and that's what I've always said with her. I made the agreement. When they come home from school and work, I'm inside at least until they go to bed. There's once in a while a few exceptions of something going on, but for the most part, I am inside at least until they go to bed. And that's tough, when you're sitting inside, getting everybody put to bed, and then now you've got to go work in the garage. You've been sitting for an hour or two, kind of relaxed. You're dog ass tired because you've been running traps all day up and down ditches hundreds of times a day. And now you got to get off that couch and go back to work. And that's tough. I mean, that is really tough. But, that's part of the thing we have an agreement of. I'm not going to, I may not be the best husband or father, but I'm always going to do what I can. I'm not going to make her be a single mom. That's for sure.
What kind of camera? We started with, was it a Panasonic?
It was no. HC770 Panasonic.
Yeah, I said Panasonic.
Sorry, I'm drinking.
But it got wet and it just died. It was really disappointing. I had bought it for him. What did I buy it for Christmas?
I think it was a Christmas present.
Yeah, and it was good and it worked well, but then as soon as it got wet, it crapped out. So we bought a weatherproof one this year, and it's a Panasonic Luminex, and it looks more like a camera, not a video camera, but
it's actually a camera.
It works well, and we're still figuring out the zoom or focus on it.
Yeah.
So if you watch the last video I did for him, I didn't do a good job, but it's because I didn't know what I was doing.
No, she did great. She did great. But I'm going to also change for this year. I am going to be getting a GoPro. I want to show you guys, I show all these videos of coons and traps and how I'm doing things. But as you all know, I'm mostly by myself almost every day. If my father goes with me on more regular basis, but he can't really do much there for me. So I'm going to get a GoPro and I'm going to show you guys how I'm actually setting these things, what I'm looking at. I think that's going to be a huge help for sure. A huge help.
You didn't tell me you were getting a GoPro.
I'm getting a GoPro.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can I borrow some money? Use 12 cc's up to 3 times. That seems like a lot of acetone. If it works, though, I'm new to it. I'm very new. So
you could just let them go.
I'm not going to let a skunk go. You think I smell like skunk now. You try seeing when I let one go. I'll be in big trouble.
Ryan, it would be hilarious if you got pulled over in your boots and underwear. Try explaining that to a cop.
Yeah, Trapper J. Heck, you guys are doing awesome. I didn't know.
Next time you're together, Justin owes all the moderators a drink.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys doing this. Man, I've never had that happen before.
You got hit.
Is that a common thing for you guys that really do this YouTube stuff? I mean, I've never dealt with that. Use acetone, remove a coon, and a $30,000 radio transmitter once. Wow, that's interesting. I've heart lung shot coons before. Actually, one major one, the one that gave me that scar right there.
Our daughter likes that one because she thinks it looks like Maui's hook from Moana.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you guys got kids. That nice little hook there on my forearm, so. You need a GoPro too? Okay. Because it seems like a very humane way. I mean, from what everyone tells me, Justin, they just they fall asleep and it's over with. And I just didn't have the experience with it. And, I'm a trapper, but I'm trying to make sure everything is very humane. I want that very quick dispatch. Even if it takes a couple minutes, as long as they're not in pain and it just puts them to sleep, I'm good with. But I mean, I was waiting like an hour, and I was like, "There's something's not right here," and I just didn't like that.
You know what's funny with the meeting with Clint? Did you ever even share it anywhere?
No, I didn't.
So sometimes people have joked about if he's getting a big ego, but I'm the one again that kind of has to brag about him. I mean, he never even, I listened to it. I don't think you even were willing to tell me what station or where to find it
Mm-mm.
because he doesn't want to make a big deal out of anything. And I'm one, I celebrate everything. It kind of drives me crazy.
Everything.
But
Everything.
it was cool and exciting, and you're just too humble. I would have been running through the streets with that. So
No, far from.
Justin really liked meeting him though, right?
Yeah, no, he's definitely. I mean, he's one of the bigger guys in our industry, and you know, actually, I was supposed to meet with him on. I was set up through him through Alan Sayre, owner of Funky Trap Tags, and he's real good friends with Clint. And he said, "Hey, we're gonna do a podcast this weekend when you come up for the NTA. We're gonna sit down with Clint, and you're gonna do a podcast with him." I'm like, "Oh, awesome! I'm honored to do it. Absolutely." And the weekend kind of progressed, and I didn't hear anything. And I was like, "Okay, well, maybe it just won't happen, and that's fine." And then Friday afternoon, I was actually sitting down having a few beers with Ben, owner of Sleepy Creek Tannery, and Alan pulled up and he goes, "Hey, we're gonna do that podcast tonight on Friday night." And I said, "I can't tonight. This is when the Iowa Trapper Association guys kind of sit down and have a little gathering and just talk trapping." And he wanted to do it Friday night, go out to dinner with him and Clint, and I can't do that. I am where I am in the trapping world because of a lot of the people in the Iowa Trappers organization. I shared this story before, but a few years ago, I was just that guy that showed up at all these trapping events, and I knew nobody. I knew absolutely nobody. I'd get a hotel room. I'm so excited to go out there and buy my trapping stuff, but I didn't know anybody. So I'd go buy my stuff, go back to the hotel room, have a couple beers, and just celebrate the day of being around people that trapped. And I met a guy named John Lentz one night, and we talked a little bit on the tailgate of my truck before he went in the hotel room. And I went to the convention the next day, and just like I did every year, and I went back to the hotel, and my hotel room phone rings. I'm like, who the heck is calling the hotel phone? And it was John Lentz on a Friday night with all the Iowa Trapper Association guys that were just, I mean, people that really knowledgeable about trapping. He said, "Hey, we're having a little get together. You need to come on down here back to the convention area. We're underneath this awning." I showed up, and there was so much knowledge there. That's where I met For Fur, someone mentioned earlier, and John himself. And there was so many guys on there that I just sat there in awe. Like, there's so much knowledge being talked about amongst themselves. I didn't say a word. I was just trying to take as many mental notes as I can. And ever since then, I've been able to pick the brains of these people and learn from them. And it was huge. I mean, that was just amazing. I got sidetracked. Where was I?
I don't know, but he leaves a great impression modeling fur coats or his karaoke. There's a good video
Don't say
of
that.
Beaver karaoke. Yeah, I think that's a good one too.
That was bad.
But-
That was a bad time.
But I love meeting the people too. Someone up there was asking what kind of gun you use too. But the people that he has brought into our lives from the community, I mean, they're all awesome people.
Yeah, trappers are good people for sure. What model of gun I use to dispatch my coon? Guaranteed Country. So I'm kind of different on this since I'm close to houses with a lot of my stuff. I'm using the 17 caliber air rifle, 1,200 feet per second. It's like Piranha tips by Crossman or Piranha pellets by Crossman. Very ethical, clean dispatch, no sound, no blood. It's a huge. The only thing bad about it is I have to reload pellet by pellet, every single one. That's the only flaw I found in them. But other than that, they're awesome. Definitely my go-to for sure. Yeah, Trapper Jay, what was about that? I knew you set something up with Jeff. Hey, thanks, JR Revolt. I appreciate it. Can you undo a timeout? Justin, who'd you put on timeout? All right, this isn't a little child running around. You
Chad
can't put him on timeout.
Oh yeah, right up here. Chad go up right there. Can you right click on the buttons? No. You can view his message at least.
Cover
With
blanket. Put on the truck.
Oh, that's sad.
Who put Chad on a timeout?
You get a timeout.
Oh shoot, that was funny. You went through a class in Kentucky with Clint Predator Control Group. It was awesome. One of my best life experiences. Yeah, I've heard a lot. I know Jeff and Clint, they're doing a thing in Southern Iowa at the Bloomfield where they always do that Trapper College or Trapper class. That would be something that, probably a wealth of information there for sure. Trapper. Oh.
When Justin and I first got married, I went with him. Where was that trapping convention that we went to? Winterset?
Winterset.
Right?
We went to the Winterset convention.
And he didn't know tons of people then yet, but I swear, we probably walked around every building in every area so many times. I was so tired by the end of that day. And it's like, we've literally looked at this booth at least a dozen times. What the heck?
And I still do it. At the NTA, you had 10 times the crowd there, but I still go through every booth 10 times, just nonstop.
And one of the times it was closer, and did I have both kids with me or just our son? I can't remember. Yeah. I don't remember. But I pull in, and there were two guys manning the gate, and they kind of thought I was lost. And they said, and what are you looking for at the trapping convention? And I said, my husband. And they're like, oh, you'll probably find him here.
Oh, shoot. So, Justin Steins, you did lock out Possum. That's hilarious. Oh, shoot. Yeah, Justin, the pellet versus a 22. It's so much.
Chad was collateral.
You're gonna have to check out some of my videos earlier. I'm trying to figure out how to do it without getting kicked off YouTube this year, but I do want to do a small segment of real road line, nonstop, probably not live, but unedited. I'm going to show the dispatch and everything. Trying to figure out how to do that without getting in big trouble with YouTube and getting my whole channel blocked, but just to show you how it works, how efficient it is, how humane it is. The coon I'm shooting with that pellet gun, most of them are going to look like I 220'd them. You're not even going to see any type of blood or anything out of almost all of them. Once in a while, you'll hit something that it happens, but it's very, very efficient. Oh, Chad Walker's back. Fire Justin Steens. It's quiet. Oh, shoot. That was funny. So, Chad, I guess you voluntarily decided to leave us earlier.
You call yourself friends.
Oh, shoot. Oh. Yeah, you're probably right, Jay, but no, I really want to show something like that, though. It's so different with filming. I can't tell you how many times last year I'd run down ditch. Oh, we got a coon. Cool. Grab the gun. Wait, let's get the camera. Let's show where I'm at. Show what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Take the camera back to the truck. Now grab the gun. Come down. Dispatch it. Make the set. Go back. Very next spot. Hey, we got a coon. Grab the gun. No. Grab the camera. And I'll tell you what, filming it was fun, but I'll tell you, that is a lot more work than I ever thought it would be. It took a lot of time, a lot more time than I thought.
Ryan.
Yeah, pros and cons with the 22, Ryan. That 22, it's obviously very deadly, especially for coon, but there's so much blood. That generally that hollow point opens up inside there. Sorry. But it's just, it's going to, you're gonna have, that's when you see those raccoon heads that are fully covered in blood down the back and stuff, just because they're leaving, you know, generally an entry and exit hole, and that exit hole, it sometimes it's the size of half the size of a dime, versus that pellet gun leaves, an eighth of an inch hole coming in, and that's it, and it's nothing. Definitely something I'd recommend, but again, I have to reload every single round, which is kind of inconvenient, but it's a very effective tool. I really like them.
Golf tees? No.
Now, guaranteed country. I dispatch every single thing on my road line with a pellet gun, except for a beaver. And the only reason because of that is because it's generally I've got it on the end of a drowner, and for some reason didn't go down or pulled the bottom of the drowner up, and it's out there 15, 20 feet. But if anything, coyotes are easier to dispatch with this pellet gun. I think the coon skull is so small and tight. I'm very effective with it. I'm probably 95 out of 100 is dispatch first shot every time. But I think the coyotes are so much bigger; they're more vulnerable to penetration. I've never once had a coyote I've had to shoot twice with a pellet gun. Never, not one. Same thing with fox, bobcats. I think just because the bigger skull, and I mean, that's something that I find anyway. I mean, it's something to try. If someone doesn't like it, that's fine too. But it's worked really well for me. You need a camera lady like I got. You want to run with me every day?
The thing is our youngest hates car rides, and I listen to a lot of screaming to and from my work, and I don't want to listen to any more of it if she would have, because we wouldn't. I mean, she'd have to ride along with us, and then we would all be pretty tired by the end. Let her go be a feral child of the wilderness by the end of it or something. But,
I'm about ready to now.
well, she's half you, so she's already halfway there.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, she's definitely mine. That's for sure. She's crazy. Huh, J-Revolt. I've never heard of that. That's interesting. Just sounds like a cap gun. Oh, Stefan. Yeah, Steven. Yeah, that fox or that skunk back there. I showed a little bit earlier. The belly side's got a bunch of white on it too. It's really pretty.
One thing that's interesting when it gets to be about the time to trap, I always have to buy the pellets and where I work, because you can't get your hands on it where we are. So it's just kind of interesting how, unless we have that many trappers, they're buying it up around us.
No, there's no. Barb Wilson. Hey, how we doing, bud? I just seen Eddie the other day. About every raccoon reaches the barrel. So, funny story about that, Trapper Jay. Before I got my pellet gun a few years ago, I don't even know if I've told you this story.
You have.
Okay. I put a dog-proof tube close to a really small culvert, like a 6-inch culvert. And that's a big mistake. You need to make sure they cannot reach. They maybe can go inside, but their head's right. I mean, here's the end of it. You want their head like right here. This thing was 12 inches back. And I'm trying to pull on my cable anchor to get the head close. And I'm on a steep hill. I mean, this is an incline like this. And I'm pulling, and all of a sudden he comes barreling out of there. And I drop my Heritage revolver right there on the spot. I go rolling down this hill. I come back up there, and this coon is standing over my gun. I'm like, all right, how am I going to do this? All of a sudden he starts fumbling with it and picking up this revolver. And I'm like, I'm out. You win. I quit. That was scary. I thought I was going to get shot by a raccoon. That'd just be my luck. That's how I'll go out.
Yeah, I guess they can call it even then.
Oh, shoot. Chad Mahler, you've killed 100 coyotes with a 17 with a 22 caliber pellet gun, now with a 10-round mag. Yeah, I think we talked about that, Mahler. Didn't you find one that's got it's a pump, and as you pump or break the barrel, it actually has a little cylinder or something in it. That'd be fun to try. You record so much of your GoPro stuff that never makes YouTube. Yeah, that's probably gonna be what I'd run into too. I'm sure. I don't want to go too crazy with it, but I think a GoPro would really be able to show what I'm doing a lot more in depth. I feel like I'm really good at showing locations, how I'm doing it, but you don't actually see me doing it. And I really think that would be a good thing to do. If I can actually I don't know. I got to figure out, maybe some of you GoPro guys know better. I know Chopper J messaged me about they got this actual hat where it mounts up here versus the bill, because I can't do the bill one. I mean, that's just.
We had an old GoPro.
Yeah, we tried an old GoPro, and I mean that thing's like 3 pounds on the tip of your hat. And boy, this sucker shines
You just
really
need
good.
a new hat. It's disgusting.
This is a great hat.
No.
But I just couldn't do that. So I don't know if the chest mount one would be better, or if I can get one up here that would work better for me. I'm very unfamiliar with technology and GoPros and cameras. Hell, she had to set up my live tonight because I have no idea what I'm doing. Coyotes have thicker skulls. Yeah. See, I've never had a problem with it. Wow, we're way
you
behind.
are behind. Sorry, I missed you.
All right, we'll
Go
see you,
up a
Chopper
little
J.
bit.
Where are we at?
Right there.
Okay. Joe Muskrat ? Yeah, where are you asking, buddy? I'd be happy to help you.
We ate muskrat a few times.
Yeah, we've ate muskrat.
Yeah, I do it in a stir fry. He brought it to work one time and didn't tell his coworkers what it was till they ate it, and they didn't appreciate that.
That was awesome.
But they said it was good. So.
That was awesome. For shooting coyotes in the lungs, because then you have to shoot them in the head, they lunge and bite your finger. Oh yeah, Possum. I forgot you went through that whole rabies series because you got bit.
Did you tell me that story?
Yeah, I told you that.
Yeah, I remember that. It sounded scary.
You choke the cats out. Yeah, I know. If you catch a cat in a snare by the neck, I mean, they choke out pretty quick. It doesn't take them long for sure.
We don't have kids like you have. I was just joking. I mean, there are kids that love to go with them, and our son did too. But he's not as little, so
yeah.
Probably someday. This kid, she's little now, but you have to bribe her to go inside. I think she'd just live outside.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
You've got the death threat. I remember you getting that at the NTA, Ryan, for sure.
How do you do it when coon are $2?
Okay, Joe. So that's one thing I'll tell you. First off, there's so many markets to be found here other than fur. I'm not sure where you're located in the country, but finished fur for us, the coon market's terrible, but I'm still looking at somewhere between $5 to $7 for a finished coon. But there's so many more markets here besides just the fur. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize is you got to really look and find, I've got a Balcom market, which basically is the coon penis bone. I've actually sold femur bones on some of these oddity places, claws, skulls, hearts. There's other markets to be found. I'm not going to share the ones I have, obviously, because they're kind of limited markets. If someone wants 20 of these, 30 of these, 5, 50, whatever. But there's other markets to be found. I haven't sold any of my furs at all right now. And I want to say I'm sitting right around, I have to do the math, like a 450 average. I mean, there's money to be made here. But people get so hung up on furs, the only thing there, and it's not. It really isn't. Use a 22 pistol. Yodis are easy. Coons got to put it right on one ear without the other. I'll tell you what, you go to a 177, at least 1,200 feet per second, you won't be disappointed. I've never had to shoot anything twice as far as coyotes go, especially. See, Chad Walker, I don't get that. You guys have these TVs out there. You're working and watching TV at the same time. How would that go for me?
You wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier before you got here. There was no chance in hell that I would get anything done.
And then we'd never see him. He'd just live there.
You're
At least
right.
once in a while, you have to come and watch your shows.
She's not lying. Like I cannot multitask for crap. I mean,
No.
I'm terrible.
We'll be ready to go somewhere, and I'll be like, "Hey, put on your shoes, and then help our child or whatever." And I'm gonna do 10 things, and I'll come back, and he's on his cell phone, and he has one shoe on, and it's like, put the phone down. Yeah, I'm a lot better multitasker.
She's not lying. She's not lying. I can't say anything. She's not lying. Okay.
Shot by a raccoon. I hope that's in my eulogy.
Yeah, that's right.
If it's in Justin's, then we probably framed the raccoon.
Yeah, you're probably right. Justin Stein should give me a new hat. Well, I got a hoodie from you at convention, buddy.
He needs a new hat.
I do not.
The dog rolls in it. That's how bad it
I don't even know
smells.
if he can do tic-tac-toe on this
Ugh.
one.
I watched it one time when he
Okay.
didn't know. That's disgusting. That is gross.
Yeah, you can make some
Ugh.
lines on this one. That's
I
all right.
can smell it.
Oh, you can't smell it. It's a good
Mhm.
hat. I bought it in like 2004.
Mm.
Really like the head mount for my GoPro. That's how I film most of my trapping adventures. Is that on the tip or is it back here? I'm really curious about that because I can't do the front. It bothers me too much. But I'm really looking. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Is they got a hat specifically made with a mount back here. I'm really thinking about doing.
I don't think I've cooked beaver yet.
No, we
don't think
haven't.
So we've had jerky from it,
Yeah, we've had
but we haven't.
and we've had beaver balls,
Oh,
little
yeah,
meatballs of
yeah,
beaver.
Yeah,
but-
meatballs. Yeah, but I didn't cook those.
Hey Jim, how we doing?
Musky smell. If you do it in a brine bath, the muskrat, it does help get rid of the smell.
Yeah, honestly, that's crazy because everyone thinks muskrat. Oh, that's terrible. It's a rat. All they're doing is eating vegetation. I mean, that's all they're doing. They're very tender, light-colored meat. I mean, It is funny when I brought that to work. I remember one of my buddies. I told him, "Hey, I got this new stir fry you gotta try," and he's eating. He's like, "This is amazing," and I'm like, "All right, can I tell you what it is?" And he knows what I do, and he just instantly goes, "What is in this?" And I told him, and he's like, "Oh." But it was great until he knew what it was. Wow, that scrolls fast.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank Mark Larson Outdoors. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. I appreciate it.
You're getting used traps for cheap. I go to this flea market that's around, and if you have rusty ones, you can sell them for ridiculous amounts.
Yeah.
I always like to send them pictures. It's not an old trap, and for $24 for 1 foothold,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, Outdoor Doug. If you're starting off, honestly, used traps go for almost the same price as new traps anymore. Especially if you don't have if at a convention you can find some good scores, but for the most part, it's just you're better off to find something new. They're about the same price, most places, but yeah, if you're not going to convention, you might as well just buy new, buddy. You might have to try the pillow. Good idea. I'll tell you what, Justin, it works really well. It's worked great. Yeah, Justin says also a sign of a good broken hat.
No,
Yeah.
a sign that it's time to go.
No, Pat, it's fine. It's a good hat.
I've tried washing it one time with our neighbors. Red Stag is not a drink for this guy anymore. And he may have thrown up on said hat. And so I used it as an opportunity while he was dying to wash it, but it still didn't. I should have just made it disappear. And when he was healthy again, I'd be like, I don't know where it went. It must have lost it.
You would have disappeared in the carcass pit in the back.
No.
Oh, shoot. But, hey, Jim, I'll be giving you a call here in the next couple days. I messaged you the other day and didn't hear anything from you. So, whenever you get a chance, I'll give you a call. You had beaver tacos this spring.
That would be fun to try.
That would be, absolutely. Trim the fat. That's good to know. That's good to know. I've never cooked any beaver, so. Ooh, Chad, you cook the beaver tail. There's no meat in that. It's like bacon. I mean, it's all fat and gristle. I don't know how you can do that. That's interesting. I'd be willing to try anything once, even twice or 3 times. Picked up a Bridger Special 5 and 2 330s. New at Roman Shield. Absolutely. That's awesome. That's a pretty good score for $15. Springs are easy to place, but you have to buy them too. Yeah, that's true. JR Revolt, good price for used dozen rat stretchers. You bought 6 dozen for $10 a dozen. Thought it was good. Yeah, that's pretty fair. That's pretty typical convention. I've seen anywhere between 8 and 12. I'm assuming you're gonna hopefully be using them for 220 stabilizers, as I shared. It works really well. Get in here.
Well, you got the comfy chair.
Oh, well, you can scoot in here. But no, they work really good for those 220 stabilizers. I hope some people capitalize on, especially if you're just starting off. They work really well. I haven't tried the Wolf Creek traps, to be honest with you. I have not tried them.
My wife said the only way to make a hat disappear is the bottom of the trash. I will remember that.
No, you won't. I'll make sure you don't remember that. JR at the NTA, you're paying $9 to $12. Yeah, it is pretty typical price. I mean, $10 isn't bad by any means. JR Revolt 160 stabilizers, yeah, because you got to use you can't use 220s down there. So, man, 220s on land here are dynamite. I'm going to film a lot more of those spots this year. They're definitely kryptonite for me if I can get away from houses. I mean, they are just, man, I love 220s is my favorite trap by far. If I have the areas to set them, especially, you got your 220 frame and that rat stretcher goes up through. So you got the top of your 220 frame, the cone of that rat stretcher. That's perfect for you to tuck grass into there. And it makes this perfect cone and tunnel. And it is just, man, it works awesome. It works so great. Eddie, don't talk like that. My hat's not going to be gone by morning because she'll be gone by morning. I love you.
That's a lot of love.
I love this hat too. So don't make me choose. Don't make me choose. Oh, shoot. Slam dunk set, no doubt. Yeah, no, JR Revolt, I've heard a lot of people use those 220s for state. As soon as I started, publicly talking about these 220 stabilizers out of muskrat stretchers, I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, I know somebody that used them back in the 70s or the 80s," and so whether it's true or not, I don't know. I can't take full credit for it, but nobody taught me that. So, in a way, I'm going to claim it as my own. But somebody probably did it before me, but. I don't know. No one showed me that idea, but I'll tell you what, that is way better than any stabilizer system, any H bracket, anything like that I've ever used. It works really well. So what's the strangest thing I've caught while out running your line? I had to catch and release a turkey, which was quite the process.
I hope the turkey was okay.
You would.
You caught some kind of bird, didn't you?
Yeah, I caught a heron once. That was interesting. Probably the scariest thing, unsuspecting thing I've ever caught. I had a colony trap which is a trap that you can catch multiple muskrats in. It's just a wire box with one-way doors, I guess like this, that swing in when they come in, and then it shuts behind them. I had a deep one that was set. It's probably about 2 foot underwater, and I reached in to pull it up. Anything that'd be in it would be dead. And I start to pull it up. Right when it comes to the surface, it just splashes like crazy. I mean, just I'm soaked, and I've never been scared so much in my life. Well, I had about a 2-pound bass inside this thing, and that just, oh man, that blew me away. I've caught several turtles in 330s before, which it's different, for sure when you pull up a long stabilizer and a 330 down deep and pull up a turtle. But that bass, that was definitely something. Never mess with a man's hat.
Oh,
Listen to Dustin.
challenge accepted. So.
No, absolutely not.
Do I look forward to the start of trapping season or the end? Kind of both. It's fun to watch him get excited about it, but at the same time, it's my busy season too for work. So then it's kind of like, here we go. And I mean, he's still here. He may be a little crabbier if he's tired or having long days.
Both of us.
I mean, both of us. I'm crabby too. It's
it
long
is.
for work for me, but it's just kind of fun because it's something he really loves. And
that's a stressful time for us.
One thing I hate though is we'll be going on walks. The fall, I love going on walks, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, let's go for a walk." And then he's in the ditch, and he's not going on a walk. He's looking for trails, and it's like, this is a walk. It's not a trail scouting adventure. It's a walk. And he even has sometimes our daughter. She'll even talk about trails now, and it's like, okay.
She's almost 5, so she's ready.
And she wants dang near every fur in her bedroom. I want a fox. I want a beaver blanket. And I'll look at him. Don't do this. But no,
it's already done.
Mm-hmm. But
no, it's like I said, I'm inside every night by 5, but it is a very stressful time for both of us. She's working longer hours, and every morning she's getting the kids up, going to school, going to work, and she has long days at work, so she gets tired and she kind of grouchy. I've had a long day at work at running traps or something. I come home, I'm kind of grouchy. So there's several times where we kind of.
It's good our house is bigger now.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we got married, the house that he bought when he was still considered a teenager. I guess you were 19, right?
Yeah.
It was less than 800 square feet. And at one point there were 4 of us in it. And so when you were mad, you either were sitting outside or you got over it pretty quickly. You'd all be in the living room together. And now we bought a fixer-upper house. It was a foreclosed house. And we've put a lot into it, time and blood and tears and you name it. But we love it. And there's room. And so sometimes I'll be sitting in the living room and everyone's in a different room. And it's like, my gosh, we can spread out. So
still not enough room.
So on the crabby days, he ends up in the garage because there's still not quite enough room.
Yep.
but if we're thankful for that. So.
No, absolutely. Yes. Like I said, it's a stressful time, and we butt heads sometimes, but we always get over it.
I haven't killed him yet.
Yeah, she gets over whatever she's mad about. No.
A fisher? What's a fisher? Is it a
fisher?
bird?
Fisher's a mammal up in very northern part of the country into Canada.
What is it like equivalent of?
I don't even know. Explain a fisher, guys. What's a fisher to her? I don't even know how to explain it. Scouting is walking. See?
No.
Yeah, see, Justin's got fur in his kids' room.
Yeah, good for them.
But they make an awesome skinning machine.
Her room is pink.
I made $10 by saying that.
Her room is pink. A raccoon does not belong in it.
It's so funny because my daughter's such a girly girl, but yet she wants fur and to go in the garage with dad. It's so like.
She pulled nails off of a beaver board.
Yeah, she's working on some spring beaver for me the other day. She's pulling nails. I'm not sure what child
carry anything like bugs or fur or whatever. It doesn't phase her.
You made her.
Bunny fur moccasin. I bet those
Oh.
were adorable. Our son has a raccoon and a muskrat
Yep.
in his room.
Yeah, they do.
How do you know when to start trapping?
All right, Tyler. So when do I start trapping? When the season opens or when the fur is worth money? I'm actually going to do a video on this year. So here in Iowa, we start November 6th. So my first catch is November 7th. Everyone says you got to wait till Thanksgiving for any fur is good here. I'm going to do a video on that and totally throw that whole thing out the window. Our 3X coon and up are good right off opening day. Everyone says, no, you got to wait 2 weeks before anything's worth any money. No, opening day this year, hopefully I catch 150 coon. I'm going to skin one and flesh and board one on camera to show that a 3X coon, it's not perfect and it's not, the best it'll be, but it is a very prime quality fur. Probably 90% of the way. I mean, it is a very good fur. So I'm gonna throw that whole theory of the fur buyers telling you that stuff out the window. It's probably gonna honestly piss some people off, but it is the truth. Your 2X and smaller coon, yeah, they're a little blue yet. Your sows that had a late litter that are still milking or milked later into the year, they don't have that under fur yet, but it's going to throw some people for a loop. I think people will be surprised how good that fur quality is early on.
It's a mink on steroids. I kind of pictured something that looked like that.
You want to hold down the fort? I'm going to go to the bathroom again.
Gosh.
You got this.
You're worse than a woman.
Oh, don't judge me.
Mm-hmm. Is she awake? I thought I heard.
Mm-mm.
No. No, maybe it's
No.
just the TV. I didn't have anything important to say, so.
You have anything important to say?
I don't know.
All right, we're about ready to wrap her up here pretty quick anyway.
Who is LLL? Justin Steins?
Yeah, I know, Justin, you're right.
Those glasses. Oh my god.
That wasn't me. My
That's
phone's
not
here.
you?
My phone's right there. So. Oh, shoot. Dustin, do I have help in the fur shed? The first 2 weeks, I hire a skinner, and that is huge. He skins a lot of my stuff for me. I'll do about 10% that first 2 weeks, depending on how he's doing. Everything gets thrown in the freezer, and then I finish all my fur in January through April, whenever, we get some cold weather. But yeah, Justin, you're right. It's gonna throw him for a loop because he's always, oh, you gotta wait. Well, guys, I'll probably get off here. What time is it?
Yeah.
It's about 11:15. I got to be up at 5 to go to work. So, but anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all stopping by. Season's 2.5 months out. It's time to start, finding those trails, get that homework done. Start mapping things out in your head. I won't actually start mapping anything out on my GPS until we get frost on the ground. Generally early October, somewhere around that time frame. But once that happens, those trails are really going to pop. As soon as the thing with trails, you go step out in your front yard right now. A day later, you're not going to see your footprints because that grass keeps rejuvenating. We get that frost, the grass is dead. Now go step out in your yard and you're going to see that footprint there because it's not going to fluff itself back up. As soon as that happens with these coon trails, every day they go past that, it's just going to make that trail pop. And you'll notice stuff that wasn't there one day, 2 days later, there's an awesome trail there. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're doing that homework. It's not long. It's gonna be here before you know it. So I'm sure she's biting at the bit for it. She's excited. Wow. No, it's gonna be a good time, guys. We'll do another live or two before season gets here, but I'll be doing a lot more filming, especially with my series. So You Want to Be a Trapper. If any of you know anyone that's young, wants to learn how to trap, show them that channel that I got going, that series of So You Want to Be a Trapper. Anyone that's on Facebook, check out. I got a Facebook page, So You Want to Be a Trapper. That's full of knowledgeable people that are not going to criticize anybody for any question. There is no stupid question. Ask away. If you don't know what something is, ask. You're not going to be torn to pieces like some of these other pages are. Anything, we want to help get youth out there. That's the whole purpose of me even doing any of this stuff. So feel free to add them to the Facebook, join the page on here on YouTube, whatever it is. But we got to get people out there. That's what we're doing. Just keeping trapping alive because we're a dying breed, whether we like it or not. So.
And the moderators, don't forget that this guy owes you a drink next time you see him. So.
They forgot about that until now.
Make sure you remind them.
So, but check in with everybody. Make sure there's no questions left. Trapping with Jinx. You're well within the shipping range. Check out A&J Skinning Machines on Facebook. He's got all kinds of different setups: a base model, a wall mount, a full machine. He's got the full setup, and they work awesome. I'll never skin a coon by hand again, ever, no matter what. You need to be a moderator. I thought I made you one. I went through a big lapse there where I was just everyone I saw on here that was making a comment. So either way, one day I'll catch up with you and I'll buy you a drink anyway. So you're right, Justin. You will owe me. I mentioned you like 6 times now, so I think that's like what, $60,
Yeah,
$70. So
we'll send you an invoice.
All right, guys. You all take care. Have a good night, and just keep the trapping tradition alive. That's what we got to do. So. Y'all have a good night, and we'll catch you later.